Off Work Nation, what's up? Sports Squad is up. What's going on? It's been a while that I've shown my face. Been working so hard. That's why the video's been so inconsistent. My apologies. But let's jump into boxing. I talked about Oleksandr Usyk a couple months ago, moving into the heavyweight ranks. He had his first fight yesterday versus Chazz Witherspoon. I don't want to say tomato can, but record shows a solid fighter, but not really known in the heavyweight ranks, down in the top 10. Introduction to Alexander's come up. You don't want to throw him in there with the Lions. He was actually going to fight Tyrone Spong. VADA test failure. I don't know for what. VADA fails for the most irregular reasons. Could have been he ate Wheaties on the wrong day. I mean, it's ridiculous. But Tyrone Spong didn't fight. I love Tyrone Spong. I'm addicted to fighting. And then Tyrone Spong was a tremendous K1 boxer, kickboxer, tremendous. Has an established record. Broke his leg, and then he went over to boxing after that injury, which I agree with because taking those hits and having another broken leg would be sick for him. However, he didn't fight. Chazz Witherspoon stepped up as the backup guy, and the backup guy came in and. No offense to Oleksandr Usyk, there was a couple things that came into mind that are a little bit scary when we look at what he brings to the table from a fighting perspective. I'm excited because he's from the Lomachenko camp. I love the Lomachenko camp. I love that style of fighting. Even myself, as I train on the side as one of these weekend LA fitness warriors, I try to emulate some of the Lomachenko styles. It's just nice. It's just beautiful to watch. Now, does it turn into a fighter that is going to have a heavy knockout count? No, it is more geared toward the Olympic style fighter that's going to point you out, wear you out, and that's Alexander Usyk style, which I'm going in detail because I feel as though when you get into the heavyweight ranks, when you get into the big bangers, it's a whole different game. And these guys can bang, and there's a couple punches last night. If you look at Usyk's face, he may just be a guy. And again, I haven't seen too many fights on Usyk, so I don't want to say I know him. I saw him fight Martinez Brides. I'm saying it wrong, out of Europe. I seen him fight another guy. What's his name? What's the big mouth's name that beat my man from England? So I seen him in about 4 or 5 fights. I watched the whole fights though. Glowowski. So these are guys that he's beaten. The thing is, it's all points. It's never been a big knockout. He's never been a big knockout guy. So don't expect that from him in the heavyweight ranks. It's going to be Chris Bird-like. It's going to be points. It's going to be wear down. He does have power to knock you out. But if I'm on a video game and the rankings are from like 1 to 100, I got to put Usyk in maybe 80, 81 in the power ranking. He can still knock you out. He's not a 70, but he's like an 80. It's not going to be boom, knockout like a 90 to 95 or 99 point puncher like Deontay Wilder. And coming to that, Chazz Witherspoon was knocked out by an accumulation of beating and not a knockout. The referee stopped the fight. It wasn't a cold knockout. And in the heavyweight rankings, people like to see that. That's kind of what they expect. And you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that from him. Looking at his background, his weight, I think he has to keep that weight to keep his speed. I thought he needs to come in a little bit heavier, to be honest with you. I thought he needs a little bit more muscle to be gained, to be able to, be in the forefront in the heavyweight division. And that was a problem for me. I didn't see enough weight there. I thought that was another factor in him not having enough power. I'm still going to the power, yes. From a skill set perspective, he was moving very nicely, getting around, jabbing, getting in any position he wanted to. The few hits that he did take had me scared. I was scared for Alexander. And it's scared as far as I saw him flinch. And I said, this is a lower tier. Again, any guy that's boxing, I can't call him a tomato can. All right? I can't call him a tomato can. Okay? Even though I have another video. So he was a tomato can. But and from a boxing perspective, but from a normal person perspective, right, he'll beat us up. Anyway, it is what it is. Usyk moves into the heavyweight ranks. I'm scared what we may see if somebody's able to get to his body, break him down a little bit more. It's gonna be a little bit iffy if he can't move those feet. I mean, if he can't move those feet, I think Usyk gonna get knocked out. I mean, if he can't move his feet, He hasn't been tested yet with any of the power big hitters. Andy Ruiz is a nice fight for him because he can show Anthony Joshua on how to beat a fighter like Andy Ruiz. Because I think Usyk would keep his distance, and that's what he does well, and be able to control the fight. He's going to be able to control fights. That's the key factor. Joshua versus him, Usyk, be careful. I mean, be very careful. Skills matter, right, in fights, and different opponents pose different issues for different fighters. I think Joshua lines up perfectly for beating up Usyk. I don't think that's the line of work he wants to get in. Deontay Wilder's another guy. He's a big, long guy, just like Usyk, uses his distance, then throws the haymaker. Not a good fight for him. Shorter guys, I think Usyk is probably going to be already just coming in one of the best fighters from a distance perspective in the boxing heavyweight ranks. I can't think of anyone else right now that he can fight. That's gonna, Dylan White and all those guys, scary. Chisora, scary. But maybe if he wants to test himself, if he wants to feel the true power of the heavyweight ranks, he wants to get some London money. The London boys is calling. London calling. So maybe fight Chisora. Bring him up to the plate. Get that London money. See what you got. Against a top tier heavyweight. It'd be interesting because Chisora still has some power. He's kind of acting like a journeyman now. I love his career. I love how he's come up. He's done a great job for boxing. A top London fighter. Top fighter in the world, Chisora, in my opinion. He's fought all the top guys. It'd be an interesting fight, and he can talk trash too. So that would sell the fight. I don't want him fighting Dylan White. I don't want him fighting any of the top 5 heavyweights right now. It'd be scary for him. Okay. Ruiz, any of the Ruizes is not a good look for him. Okay. Tyson Fury. I'll tell you what, Tyson Fury. So Usyk has to realize there's another guy who's just like him who went up to heavyweight. If not one of my top from the last decade, one of my top 5 favorite fighters. So I love boxing. Steve Cunningham, Mr. Army, Steve Cunningham. Usyk reminds me a lot of Cunningham out of Philadelphia. So if Usyk, gets a little bit more weight. That's what I thought the issue was with Cunningham when he fought Fury. He knocked Fury down, by the way. And Cunningham was like an 84, 85 puncher, talking about 1 to 100. I'm giving him that. But, 82, 84, around that range. He knocked down Fury, but Fury then came down back to beat him. And I think that's the fight that Usyk is looking at. But Cunningham has tremendous movement. If you want to talk about who was in shape, he's over 37, 38 years old. The guy looks like he's 22 years old with his body. Man, it's sick. The level of dedication he has. And what I aspire to be, if you're talking about from a body type perspective, and a fighting perspective. But you gotta like what you see out of Cunningham. And I guarantee you, Usyk saw that Cunningham fight and said, Fury's my guy, because he fights in a similar way. But again, Usyk has that Lomo head movement that he does to the left and right, so he may have an advantage there against Fury. But in my opinion, 2 pillow punches like that would probably be the best fight for him. But I don't think there's anyone else out there that he should be looking at, like if Joshua, Wilder, any of those guys are no play. Ruiz would be interesting, okay? Fury and Usyk match up well with Andy Ruiz. I'm sorry, Andy. Joshua just did not handle his range. He did not handle his range against you. I'm ranting a little bit here. I'm going aside. The reason why he lost the fight, he did not handle his range. If he handles his range and stays away, a la the guy he hates so much, Lennox Lewis, he'll win the fight easily. There's nothing you can do. He steps back, moves around, jabs. It's going to be an ugly fight. It's not going to be a knockdown. It's going to be a point fight, and he's going to kill him. I mean, it's going to be easy work if Joshua keeps his distance. If he wants to be safe, keep your distance and jab. It's very simple. Usyk can do that well, so that's why that's a scary fight. Anyway, to end the night, I got to say, Oleksandr Usyk has stepped up into a new realm. His first fight was a little bit shaky against Chazz Witherspoon. I don't know where his future goes. But he needs to improve on the strength and power. And he also needs to improve on getting hit. He got hit a little bit too much for the type of fighter or level of fighter he was fighting Chazz Witherspoon. No disrespect to Chazz, but it is what it is. From a rankings perspective, Chazz is not there. And any boxer can agree with me on that. If you're not ranked there, you're not ranked there. It is what it is. He's not a top 10 fighter, so I can't put him up there as hey man, he fought a great guy. Anyhow, All Four Sports, I'm signing off right now. Great fight. Want to show my face a little bit on this Sunday. Have a good day. Enjoy the time. Subscribe, like, share. Come on, guys. Give me 1,000. Come on, baby. Let's get there. All Four. Peace.